Hello, good evening. My name is Arnulfo Alvarado, and today I'll be talking about how Disney is doing in business lately and how their expansion plays a key role to the recent success. Disney has always been around, but recently they took over, especially with power moves like releasing Disney Plus. Now I'm sure at least one person in every or most households has a streaming service. Whether we bought it when it first came out, don't own it no more, which that's fine, or we've used it in the past, whether free trials from a friend, a neighbor, we're at least familiar with it, know how it works, stuff like that. Officially it launched in 2019, and in 3 years it has roughly 120 million subscribers now to date. That's awesome, right? That's a lot of people. It's a whole across the worldwide, not just in the US, it's globe wide. Compared to Netflix has pretty much close to 200 million subscribers, but Disney Plus is still new, so can't be discouraged, still peaking, and of course has plenty of room to grow and take over as the main streaming site. Just give it some time, maybe a couple years, 3 to 5 years, might be the biggest in the world. In large part, a lot of their success didn't come just from Disney Plus itself. It also came from huge investments, risks, and expanding buying stocks in other companies. When looking up Disney's success in business, a lot of it can go back to their CEO, Bob Iger. When he was in power, he made a lot of changes for the better. He was in a CEO for about 15 years, early 2000s till about, the end of, 2020, 2019. Can't remember for sure, but he was there for a good part of the 2000s. The first expansion deal under his watch, they bought Marvel Entertainment Studios in 2009. That gave us all the characters we love and enjoy to this day still. Yet again in 2012, they were at it again. They bought Lucasfilms, getting Star Wars and Indiana Jones franchises. For sure, they went on to make more Star Wars movies. I can't remember if they've released any more Indiana Jones films, but they have for sure released some shows for Star Wars called, for sure, I could think of The Mandalorian and Boba Fett. At the moment, I don't know if they've released any others. They don't come to mind. They probably have, or they're fixing to in the near, future. And of course, you guys guessed it, Bob Iger was here again for these expansions, but his greatest feat is yet to come. In 2018, probably the biggest deal I think anyone can remember or think of in a long time, but they made a deal with 21st Fox Century buying movie and TV assets. And the crazy thing about this deal was that Comcast was so close to getting it, but Disney manned up and gave, I can't remember how much, but it was a hefty paycheck, in the billions. One of the biggest deals of history, but where we're at now, it was a good move for them in the long run. Overall, to kind of put in perspective of how big Disney is now after all these 3 deals, Disney now owns 27% of the film industry, which, if you think about it, a little more than a fourth of the film industry, which, come on, there's a lot of movies in the world. Disney owning a chunk of that was awesome, but that's a lot. Furthermore, Disney now owns 8 out of the top 10 movies on the worldwide box office chart, which, is no simple feat. To even get like 2 or 3 is pretty awesome, but to have 8 out of 10, that's pretty cool. Now I'm curious, how many knew that Disney owned 1/4 of the movie industry and that they owned 8 out of 10 spots on the top movie charts for the worldwide box office? Because I personally myself, I knew they were pretty huge, but did I know they were, that big? Probably not. Did I know they were that great? I knew they were awesome, but never looked up how awesome they were till right now, like this project. I know it sounds crazy. They own pretty much a lot of stuff, so when you talk about them, they're a major media powerhouse, but there's still a little bit more we didn't discuss. The final things they own are ABC, Hulu, and ESPN, and just imagine where they go from this.